好的，
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you very much, and thanks especially to FAO for providing this opportunity for me to report on the disease management and control in Chinese aquaculture. So I would like to share with you the work that's currently carried out in China with regard to disease management and control in Chinese aquaculture. First of all, in terms of disease prevention and control systems in Chinese aquaculture, the system includes two parts. First is on surveillance and early warning system, and the second is technical support system. The technical support system includes aquaculture-related research organizations and universities on both the national and local level. So we see that it is spread all throughout the country, being supported by the different agencies. And the surveillance and early warning system is established based on a 5-tier system, including national, local agencies at the county, municipal, and provincial levels. And under the MARA, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, we also have a special technical expert committee. It acts as an advisory committee for policy making, as well as providing suggestions and support for work related to control of diseases in aquaculture. So in this 5-tier system, I would like to go a little bit more into depth on how that operates. So there is the country level, the municipal level, as well as the provincial level. So through the information system that we report the situation, strategies, and solutions for the disease prevention and control. So in these two pictures, you can see the surveillors working on the ground. So we analyze the trends and report this in real time through the online information system. So this is the first part with regard to the way the system works. Secondly, I would like to talk about a little bit on how we go about conducting work for disease prevention and control. So on this particular slide, you can see a diagram that separates pathogen, host, and environment. These are the key elements during disease prevention and control. Therefore, measures taken to prevent diseases should also reference these 3 elements. Now, let's take a look at these 3 strategies. What measures are undertaken? First, we create a pathogen-free environment. We quarantine juveniles in the original hatchery and establish SPF hatchery and biosecurity measures. Secondly, we manage culture species and restrict breeding scale of specific species and selective breeding. So in terms of managing the culture species, we in particular focus on the scale of specific species and of course select the good breeds, if we will. And in terms of the mastery of the environment, we maintain a positive breeding environment, ensure water quality, production system, aeration, density, feed, etc. Now, surveillance is a fundamental component of aquatic animal health protection. We need to ensure that we conduct effective monitoring in order to successfully and scientifically prevent diseases. There are also some protective measures that we need to take. For example, laws, regulations, personnel, financial support, and system capacity are essential as guarantee measures for the implementation of these strategies. So not only in terms of software, but also hardware need to be in place. So this is, in a nutshell, the thought process of China. So now let us take a look at a surveillance of diseases in China. We conduct both active and passive surveillance. Active surveillance is carried out on a dozen pathogens that are more damaging to aquaculture. We focus on the hatcheries, we submit standard samples to laboratories, etc. And there's also passive surveillance. That's conducted in real time through the 5,000 surveillance points and the 5-tier surveillance system, which with the results reported in real time. So it's both active surveillance and passive surveillance. Here on the PPT, you can see some pictures in terms of how we conduct passive surveillance and active surveillance. And then, of course, we also analyze the trends of diseases. So lastly, I want to show a little bit information on the National Remote Diagnosis of AAD Network. So our surveillors and our technicians, they work together, and based on the National Disease Surveillance System, they establish a large database of aquatic diseases and provide early warning self-diagnosis services. So we do this online, very much like the virtual meeting that we're conducting today. This platform allows for self-diagnosis service. So what species, what problems have occurred with what species, we can collect this information and provide online technical services for the farmers. So in other words, direct communication can be done online, and the experts from China, wherever they may be, can share information and also interact online. So what are the next steps? We aim to establish a national platform that will combine early warning with information release on aquatic disease. So this means that if something happens in one particular part of China, other areas can access the information and be able to, and one area can provide the early warning in a timely manner to another area. So lastly, I would like to talk about a little bit about the challenges that China is facing right now. The biggest challenge right now is really to standardize preventive work. This includes identifying and diagnosing the pathogens, reporting on the diseases, emergency measures, classification of diseases, and management of the laboratories. So we really need to further standardize our operations. In other words, China is a very large country. We need to collect all the information, standardize the information, and share it in an efficient and effective manner so that the successful disease prevention and control can be carried out nationwide. So this is very much the goal that we have at this moment. So this basically concludes my presentation. Thank you very much.